Hello everybody, it's Marie here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to make a card using the Nature's Beauty stamp set. This will become available on the 4th of September, so coming this Thursday you'll be able to purchase this set from my online store at pepperlyrose.stampinup.net. Also, I'll be using Free as a Bird. I'm going to be using this leaf image here and a couple of these smaller flowers. I'm going to use the Subtle 3D embossing folder. I love this thing, and I'm using the seasonal layers, thin edge dies, and I'm using the branch. We'll get started on our project. What you will need is a piece of grey granite cardstock. This is half an A4, and then I scored it in half again. If you're in the US, you can use half of your cardstock and then score it in half again. So you can use whatever card base you wish. This is a very easy, easy design, so you don't have to get hung up on measurements at all, just enjoy the process. So I'm going to do that. I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock which is about 1/4 of an inch short from this side and this side, and it's layered on quite nicely like that. What we're going to do with that layer is we are going to emboss that with the, let's see, the Subtle Dynamic folder, or the 3D folder. I'll do that shortly, but in the meantime, what I'm going to do on a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock is I'm going to do some stamping. So, to start off with, I'm going to stamp along here, and I'm going to grab the rabbit image from this stamp set, and then I'm going to stamp the leaves. I'm going to do that all on this side because this whole sheet of cardstock is going to be utilised. So I'll go like that, and I'm going to get the smaller flower, and I'm going to stamp that. So I'm going to pop that on. I'm going to get my grey granite ink and ink up those stamps. Make sure I've got enough ink on there. Make sure it's buttered right up to the corner, and I'm going to stamp them. And I think they turned out absolutely perfect, so I'll leave it at that. I will leave these I'll leave them on the Stamparatus for now. Oh no, hang on. I'm just trying to think. Actually, then I'm going to make this go down, and I'm going to stamp just the just that little flower. And if I got any ink on the other one, I'll make sure I get rid of that. I don't think I even did, so that's good. And I'm going to stamp that flower again. And that's okay. We're going to cut these out and colour them in. So I'll put this back on that way. I will leave them on. I'm going to let these dry for a moment. Okay, so that's how they look, all stamped. Aren't they beautiful? And leave this over here. Put my ink pad away. And then I'm going to grab, let's see now. I'm going to grab the seasonal layers dies, and I'm going to grab the tree branch. I'm going to cut out one branch here. Oh, actually, I'm going to ink blend that whole area there. So I'll just grab my makeup brushes. I forgot to grab those. So we don't have to use, coloured cardstock. We can do this the pretty easy way. I'll just get my Ranger non-stick craft mat or craft sheet, same thing. We'll try and be as efficient as possible with this. So I'll just grab my grey granite ink. And I want to ink blend the grey granite here. Doesn't have to be precise in any way, shape or form, because I want to cut out my branches with this. Now, let's see, that's one branch, and then I'll have to do the other one here. Okay, so I'll just protect these here. Okay, and I'll ink blend some more. Doesn't have to be precise, but just to get some colour on there. And that's what I'm going to use to cut out my branches. I want them to be coloured in grey granite. Okay, and I think that will do. So I'm just going to clean up my craft sheet and put that away. And in the meantime, I'm going to grab my trimmer. And on this side here, I want to trim up to 1.5 inches. So let's go over there. So that's 1.5 inches right there. And then from this side up, I'm just going to trim up to make a nice little border. So the last time I did this was at 2 inches, but I think I'll go at 2.25. And that will go on the card. So that's 1.5 inches by 2.25. And then I've got this strip here that I'm going to colour in, and I'm going to die cut with this. So I'll die cut with this just to give more of a chance for my images to dry. So I'll just grab my, what's it called? The Big Shot. I can't believe I forgot what it's called. My memory sometimes is just no good, and I think it's lack of good sleep. And I'm not sleeping well the last couple of years, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so I'm going to cut out now 2 branches. So I'm going to go as close to the edge as possible. Just lift up my sleeves, and we'll cut that one out. And is that coming out easily? Check that out, isn't that beautiful? And then I'm going to cut out this tree branch, and I'll make it angle this way. In the end, with the Stamparatus, I'm not going to bother recolouring that image, so you don't have to, because I cut it all up, so I thought ahead too fast. So don't worry about the Stamparatus now. And that is now my other branch that was cut out beautifully. Whilst I have the Stamparatus out, I'm just going to take out the thin die adapter. I'm going to leave one cutting plate, and I'm going to emboss the layering sheet here with the subtle folder. Now, if you're going to order the subtle 3D folder, it won't say Sizzix, but because mine says Sizzix, I'm going to have to use my regular embossing plate, my regular plate that comes with a Big Shot. But if you don't have the Sizzix sign on it, you use the blue plate on top. Okay, so I'm just going to use my regular plate, put my embossing folder on top, and then crank that through. Alright, so that is it now with my embossing folder. With the Big Shot. Okay. Now I forgot to clean my makeup brush, so I better do that before I do anything else, because I know I will probably contaminate. I'll just see if I got anything there. I've got a bit. So just clean, clean, clean. Okay, that will do me for now. All right, so I'll show you now the beautiful embossed piece. So that's the embossed piece. Can you see that? And that will go beautifully on the grey granite. Just stunning. Love it. All right. So with these images here, with the rabbit, I'm going to leave it as is. But for this, I am going to colour them in, and I am going to use my watercolour pencils. The colours I'll be using are very similar to Stampin' Up colours. So to start off with, I am going to use a colour that is very similar to Pear Pizzazz. It with my colouring. I've decided now with the rabbit I might use the grey granite colour as well and just give it a bit of a light colour. That's about it really. I'm not going to go crazy with the shading because it's already quite shaded, so I'll just colour that in. So I'm not doing anything spectacular, I'm just giving it a light colour. Alrighty, so I'm scribbling it off. Now I'll just zoom you out. Alright, so I'm just going to put my pencils away. And with that image I'm going to leave it, but with this one here I am going to fussy cut these out. So now I've finished fussy cutting all of those images, so I'll bring them up with the white so you can see them. Where's my other colour? Oh, there it is. It flicked up. So there it is. Doesn't that look beautiful? Alright, so these are from the Free as a Bird stamp set. So with this, what we're going to do is we're going to make the branches become like a border. So I'm going to cut up to about there on this one. It's always the way when I'm doing videos, I always get noise. So it kind of looks like a lovely bordered, I don't know if you like it or not, but I think it's quite cute. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim down the excess white parts. I'm just going to follow along the lines of the branch. And then I'll do this one. And just trim that along so it looks like it's seamless. Okay, so now we have the bunny like this. So I'm going to grab my card, I'm going to start putting it together. So just stick glue, let's get rid of that excess glue. Oops, so put that glue there. And like that. So this will be my Easter card, I'd say, but I'm going to leave it blank so I can use it for other occasions as well. Then I've got my bunny down here, and with regards to the branch there, I'm going to do that like that and like that, and I think that's super cute. I absolutely love that. So I'm going to, let's see, I'll stick this down here. I'll make sure it's stuck down because I don't want it to, it's so delicate, so I don't want it to kind of flap up. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to make the flower go like that and like that, I'd say. I'm going to have one sticking like that and the other one like that. So anywho, I'll pop this down. Like that. And with this, I'm going to stick that down. Just a little bit there and there. Oh, how cute is this? And then I'm going to do this like so, yep. And I'll put one like that. How beautiful is that? Now just bear with me for one moment. I've got a bit of adhesive on there and I'll come back. An adhesive remover. This is from Xyron, but Stampin' Up used to sell this years ago. When I first joined as a demonstrator, this was in my starter kit, and I still have it. It hasn't worn off, but if you've got like any adhesive, you can take that and just rub it off, and the adhesive just comes off. Really nice, clean looking, and I'll show you that now. So that's my finished card for today. I absolutely adore how this turned out. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going for really simple these days and effective, I think. So I'm going to leave this blank with regards to a sentiment. On the inside of the card, yes, we can put something in there in the middle. So I'll just grab, what is it? I'll just grab a piece of cardstock and I'll just cut that up with my trimmer. So I'll just cut that up. Oops, that's the one. And then I'll just trim that down. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to grab my Stamparatus again, and I'm just going to stamp the bunny just down here, and I'll take off the Free as a Bird stamps, and I'll put them back in my spot here, back in their spots. Oops. Oh yeah, it got stuck to the bottom there, so I'll just put the bunny down here. Just keeping it very, very simple. Sometimes I overthink things, and it's no good. You don't have to overthink it, just do it. So that's grey granite ink again. And that turned out absolutely perfect. The grey granite's pretty inky, so that's why I didn't have to stamp again and again, but it turned out absolutely beautiful. So I'm really happy. And I'll just put it back in my stamp set. So that's it with the Stamparatus. And now I'm going to just put my layer inside. So I'll just put a little bit. You don't need a lot. You just squeeze a very tiny amount of glue and just spread. And that's how I do it. Okay. Now I'm just going to put that in the middle. And I like that it has wiggle room, so I'm just angling it right there. Okay. And that is my finished card for today. So I just wanted to give you a close-up, and I love the subtle 3D embossing folder there. The tree branches, you can use them as a little frame around your images, and I chose to use that around my rabbit, and I loved the ink blending. I think it gives a nice natural look, but when you use it like this, it looks like a real mess, but when you cut out your image, your die cut, it looks amazing. So that's something you can do without using up a lot of your coloured cardstock. And I use these gorgeous images here from Free as a Bird. I like to combine sets, and I think this is just really pretty, really lovely, really elegant. So thank you so much for coming past today. If you want to purchase any of these products, the Nature's Beauty will be available on the 4th of September, but Free as a Bird is available now. The 3D embossing folder, the subtle one, and the seasonal layers dies are all available now through my online store at pepperlyrose.stampinup.net. And I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you don't have a demonstrator here in Australia, I would love to have the opportunity to earn your business. You can be from anywhere in Australia. I have customers that are not close to me at all. I have customers in Victoria, Queensland, WA, some in New South Wales, some in Sydney, but I'm all over the shop. So if you would like to buy from me and support my channels to keep this free content going, I would really appreciate your business. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye.